Hello and welcome, everyone. We are a tad bit early, but I wanted to make sure everybody was able to hop on here and get you all settled in early. We are also live on YouTube today. So if you do get disconnected and the Zoom room is full, you can join us on YouTube because we are live there as well, okay? So let's just take about 30 seconds, just settle into our space, and then we're gonna get started, all right? So yeah, go ahead and share where you're from. I'd love to see that in the meantime. And let's get started now. It's 11 and go ahead and share. Welcome to Live Your Ultimate Life Summit. We are honored to have you here in the Zoom room and on YouTube. Please do share where you're tuning in from. I definitely want to see. I'm very excited to see each and every one of you from Georgia. Hello from Berlin, Missouri. Prescott, Arizona. We were just talking about Arizona, and that's amazing, amazing. It's so wonderful to have all of you here from all over the world. Now, I am Dipal Shah. I am your host for today's live summit. And for those of you who do not know me, I'm a medical intuitive, and I've helped over 6,000 people all around the world in 92 different countries heal their body and create a meaningful and purposeful life. My passion is to help people who are empathic and highly sensitive create the life that is worth living, because I believe any body can heal. In today's summit, my assistant Floor will be here. If anyone needs anything, she will also be posting free gifts from our speakers. This summit is designed to help you break through your limitations, awaken your inner power, and truly live your ultimate life. One that's filled with purpose, joy, and abundance. Who wants that? I do. I want more of it, right? So just go ahead and put joy, purpose, abundance in the chat. Let's get the chat room blowing up, because I want to hear from you, because we're here creating that ultimate life, right? So let's create that, and let's start the energies now. To guide you on this journey, I brought together world-renowned speakers, healers, visionaries, each bringing their own unique wisdom and energy to help you shift into your highest potential. You're going to hear from 5 incredible speakers, including myself, all here to share insights and tools to help you elevate your life in ways that you never imagined. And here's something truly special. We will be coming together live at Omega Institute this summer, June 20th to the 22nd, during the Summer Solstice. This will be an incredible opportunity to experience the wisdom in person, a space designed for deep healing. I don't know, have any of you been to Omega? I haven't been, but I'm really excited. I'm going to be going there. And, it's a place of growth and connection. And I've heard so many great things about it, and I can't wait to set foot in that space. And I hope that you'll join me in this beautiful weekend, June 20th through the 22nd. If you've ever felt called to take a deeper leap into your journey, this is your chance to really immerse yourself in an environment that really supports your transformation. And so as we move through today's summit, we encourage you to fully be present, take in what resonates. And if you have any questions or comments, please drop it in the chat, because we want to know how you're doing, and we'll do our best to get to them. But share if you feel good, if you feel tingling, if you feel hot and sweaty, the energy and the vibes are going to be amazing and out of this world. So we're honored to share this space with you, and hope that you are just as excited as we are. So let's dive in and begin our journey together. All right, so we have today all of our speakers. We got Dr. Anthony Cahill, who is going to be talking about rising up with the angels. Ken Honda, he's going to be talking about the new definition of true wealth through happy money. Ji Young Padma, she's going to be talking about gratefulness and abundant mind. Brad Yates, tapping into abundance. And Brett Bevel, who's going to be talking about guardian angel healing and the magic of Omega. And I will be sharing with you how to discover your healer archetype. So be sure to stay till the end, because if you can't, I completely understand. So we're going to give you the opportunity to watch the recordings later. Okay, you'll have 48 hours through Sunday. You'll have the ability to watch the replays. That's not 48 hours, is it? No. So you have till Sunday to watch the replays. But if you want to purchase the replays, it's $47 and you get to own it for a lifetime. All the gifts also, you get to own them for a lifetime. You get 6 free gifts from our speakers, and it's just a beautiful space to be in if you would like to receive the recordings and the healings that come along with it, and just come back to it, because a lot of what we're doing is really tapping into the angels and the abundance and healing. So I really want you to benefit from that. Floor is going to put the link for the $47 if you want to take advantage of the replay. And like I said, if you just want to watch the replay, you want to have it for later, it's always nice to go back to these things. And so right now, let me go ahead and we're going to have Ji Young Padma start off. Okay, and I actually had to interview her earlier because she could not be on live today with us. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll share her video, okay? All right, give me just a moment to do that. We're talking next to Ji Young Padma. Ji Young Padma, she is a PhD and has 30 years of experience in Buddhist. Okay, something's going on with the video. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Welcome everyone to joining us here live at Live Your Ultimate Life Summit. We're talking next to Ji Young Padma. Ji Young Padma, she is a PhD and has 30 years of experience in Buddhist training and teaching, and is a lay Dharma lineage holder and teacher in the Soto Zen lineage of Suzuki Roshi. She serves as a chair of the Masters of Divinity program of Narapa University. She is also the author of Field of Blessings, Ritual and Consciousness in the Work of Buddhist Healers and Living the Season, Zen Practices for Transformative Times. Ji Young has taught meditation at Omega Institute for 18 years, as well as Kripalu and Aslan Institutes, and process where we'll be going through a traditional Buddhist practice for cultivating an abundant mind. So make sure you stay till the end. And also we have a free gift for you. So let's start with who you are and how you started on your journey, because this is really a beautiful career path that you've taken. And I'd love to know more about that.
Thank you. My first work in the world was really as a EMT, working on an ambulance. And through that, I saw the truths of life and death and the need to be of service in a way that was compassionate and clear. My first job out of college was as an office manager at an acupuncture clinic for people with AIDS. And through this, I saw the effectiveness of meditation in helping people to overcome suffering. And I saw that it was necessary for me to cultivate my own clarity, my own compassion, so that that upwelling of compassion and clarity could help our clients to calm their fear and to connect with their inner resources.
I love that. So the past few months, I know they've been really filled with upheaval and political uncertainty. And from your experience, what are the 5 steps that each of us can take to develop mindfulness and serenity during such uncertain times?
The first thing I'd recommend really is to take 3 deep breaths. Even if we're in a hurry, even if it feels like a crisis, we still have to breathe. So maybe breathing in for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 8. As we watch the breath becomes deeper. And as the breath becomes deeper, the body relaxes. As the body relaxes, the mind relaxes. I've taught mindfulness in hospitals, and healthcare professionals have sometimes asked me about how they're going to find time to meditate. And I really encourage them to take those breaths in the midst of their work as a way of centering and reconnecting to the body, because through that we can be relaxed and focused in the midst of any activity. And so that grounding in the body can just happen as we're breathing deeply through the lungs, through the deepest corners of the lungs, through the lower belly, and just then noticing what physical sensations arise, whether there's a warmth or coolness, is there pressure or tingling, whatever the sensation. And also noticing whatever emotion is arising, just letting that be as it is, dropping the storyline and just staying with that direct experience. Within that, we can notice if the breath is flowing freely or if it feels tightened anywhere. And where it is, we can breathe through that and relax and soften that part of the body. As we do so, we can notice how the emotions that are associated with that area also begin to shift. And perhaps these emotions that seem so solid are actually interweaving patterns of energy. So when we make contact with these patterns and breathe into them, it's freeing up space for our own becoming and for our own clarity and joy. And in the midst of that, we can acknowledge the emotions. We're all feeling some powerful emotions right now. There's no way not to. But when we deliberately make contact with those feelings and own and acknowledge them, like the poet Rilke says, let everything happen. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. So as we do that, we're coming fully into our senses, fully into the vividness of being alive. And because we're in real contact with our inner life, we have an inner freedom. And out of that, we can choose how to respond. And we're able to have the freedom to see the people and the wholeness in the faces of the people around us. The next thing I would really encourage is that we reach out. That there's no one that exists in isolation, but we're just always coming into being through our connection to each other. As I'm sure you know, there's that beautiful image of Indra's net in Buddhism we use to describe that connection. If we imagine the horizontal threads representing time, the vertical threads representing space, and where each of those is meeting, there's a crystal. Each crystal is reflecting not only every other crystal, but every reflection of every crystal. So just in that way, we're always coming into being together. We're composed of these reflections of each other. And when we reach out and strengthen those connections, we have access to the resources of that web of life. And within this, also just practicing good self-care, taking care of our hydration, our nutrition, our sleep, our exercise, because as we do that, we're then able to strengthen the light that can come through our system and be a benefit to ourselves and to others. Just a few ideas.
I love it because I think breathing, you're right, breathing is so important. And that does sometimes bring up emotions. And it's okay to have those emotions and really just acknowledge them, right? I think, when I first started to breathe, and learn these different breathing techniques, I would hold my breath. And when I would release, it was an emotional, like tears. And I think people release in different ways, which maybe you could talk a little bit about that. And that when we acknowledge that release, you're going to start to feel lighter and bring more light in, right? Right. Yeah. And that allows for more opening for reflection and self-care and all the other steps that you mentioned, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love these steps, and that's what I started with incorporating in my life. And I used to go to the Buddhist teachings here in our town just to learn more and really just take it all in, because I loved every principle that they would teach and the meditations that they did. And I would take my girls as well, and hoping that they would get something out of it.
Beautiful.
I'm wondering, we're talking about gratitude, and can you share a personal experience where gratitude shifted your perspective or helped you through a challenging time?
Sure. Sometime, in 2020, we all had these moments of feeling a little bit isolated. Things were edging in our collective. And so what I would do then is I would take a walk down my street and notice the flowers blooming. And particularly at sunrise, I would do a little bit of a prayer that was taught to me by Jackie Holder, who is another beautiful soul. And the prayer was really simple. With the mountains and rivers, you feed my soul. With the flowing water, you feed my soul. With the creatures of earth, air, and sea, you feed my soul. And I grow stronger and wiser because you feed my soul. And so then how could I really feel alone with so much beauty, so much abundance of air and water and all of the nutrients that the earth has given us? And through that, I really felt that I was deeply, richly blessed by simply being where I was in this transformative time.
That is so powerful. That just gave me chills as you were saying that, because we're connecting with the 5 elements of nature to the 5 elements that are within us.
Yes.
So it's so powerful. Thank you. I mean, whether it's 2020, that time where everything was in an upheaval for sure, it's never too late to start practicing that in our lives as well.
Every moment I try to return to that.
Yeah, I love that. And I can't wait till, I don't know where you are, but here we're still in winter. It's February in North Carolina, and it's still cold, so I can't go outside for my walks, but we could definitely practice something like that. Even just looking outside the window on a beautiful sunny day or anytime, right? I mean, it's great practice to incorporate.
I'm here in Boulder, Colorado, so it's quite cold actually.
That's right. That's right. So do you feel like whether it's this practice or any kind of gratitude practice rewires the mind and our energy, like to create
Absolutely.
abundance?
Because we have so much power in the way that we tell the story of our life. You know, by choosing to focus on these elements of abundance and gratitude, it then strengthens our ability to continue to find and resource from that place.
Yeah.
So that we find those miracles and blessings that otherwise we might have unconsciously screened out.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful how we can rewire our mind instantly if we choose to.
Yes.
Right? So how can someone move from like that intellectual gratitude, right? Just by saying thank you, that I consider intellectual gratitude, to really embodying deep heart-centered gratitude. Do you have any suggestions for that?
I have a good ceremony for that.
Oh, why don't we go ahead and share that ceremony then?
Why don't we indeed? So this is actually a very timely ceremony because this is called a song or smoke ritual. And this is done in Tibetan communities at the time of the Losar, the new year, which is taking place this week. So here I have a small charcoal and I'm lighting it. And this is an offering to the 4 guests. The first guest would be the guest of the awakened beings, whatever we may consider divine. The second level of guest would be the other supportive energies of the universe. The third class of guest is the ones that seem to be obstructions, because we bless them too. We can absolutely bless them. And then the last one is the guest of compassion. All beings at some point have been our mother. So we have gratitude and we offer them a blessing. So here's the ceremony. I have the incense here. The unborn original pure basic space free of constructs manifest as the 5 colored lights, the 5 elements. From that display of effortless compassion, all of these beings are assembled, and we now offer them our gratitude. Please come here immediately. Be seated on whatever seat you please. Sarva samaya sat ramyam kam. So within this offering, as we offer the smoke is transformed by fire into these heavenly offerings of food, drink, clothes, medicine, and the like. And so this is basically, this fire is the basis for generating the blessings. So we are offering our gratitude to the universe, and the universe brings us back what it is that we most need. So we begin then with gratitude to the source of refuge in the Buddhist tradition, the undeceiving precious 3 jewels of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So receive this cleansing blessing. Sovereigns of all blessings, cities, and activities, hosts of gurus, yidams, and dakinis. So all of these blessings that help us to attain enlightenment. For these we are grateful. From there we give gratitude to all the beings in the 3,000-fold universe, in particular the protectors of the Dharma, the protectors of our spiritual practice. Please accept this blessing. The Nagas, the spirits of elements of nature, we give gratitude. And so the outer environment is cleansed, and the inhabitants are cleansed. And within that, then we offer these pleasures to the 3 jewels, to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha once again, and ask them, help us to awaken. And we offer this so that you may bestow blessings and empowerment. May the splendor of compassion shine forth. May the sacred bonds with protectors, the guest of qualities, May these be fulfilled, dispel all obstacles, and may conducive circumstances increase. We dedicate to the classes of obstructors, the guest of karmic credit, with whom we may have had a difficult time. May you be pleased and satisfied by this offering and help us accomplish our beneficial plans and activities. We give to the whole 6 classes, all the guests of compassion, all the beings that at one time been our mother. May they be free of all suffering and be happy. In this auspicious, joyful, and virtuous place, through the offering and giving of cleansing nectar, may all good fortune and excellence of the world and beings of samsara, nirvana, and all the 10 directions be magnetized here. May the 3 parts of the day blaze with auspiciousness like the shining sun. May the 3 parts of the night radiate with auspiciousness like the glowing moon. Throughout day and night, may everything be auspicious, blissful, and excellent. And may an abundance of virtuous and auspicious signs instantly appear. So there's a traditional smoke offering for us to celebrate the Losar, the Tibetan New Year together.
Oh, that was so beautiful. It reminds me of some of the rituals that we do in India, you know, and our cultures are very similar. So, you know, I really enjoyed that, and I'm sure our audience did as well. Thank you for doing that. What a beautiful treat. And let me go ahead and do one thing. All right, there we go. Yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful treat. Thank you. So I know, Ji Young, you're going to be teaching at Omega, and it's going to be the weekend of the summer solstice, which is so special. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'm going to be introducing additional Buddhist practices of gratitude, as well as practices that come from the Karo community of the high Andes of Peru. There's actually quite a interconnection thematically between the mandala created in Buddhist tradition and the Aini Despacho, which is the gratitude offering of the Andean tradition. So I'm going to be focusing on that and helping us in that way to use all of the senses and our heightened appreciation for the gifts that are always coming in, those blessings that are innumerable, so that this can then be anchored in day-to-day life.
Oh, that is amazing. If you all have not gotten your ticket for June 20th to the 22nd, it's going to be a fun-filled weekend at Omega. And if you haven't been there, it is such a beautiful, serene space. And Ji Young Padma will be teaching there that weekend, and you can take in all the beautiful energies that are going to be there during that time. Again, June 20th to the 22nd, and we'll put the link right here in the chat at this time if you'd like to take advantage of that weekend and start planning your time there with us. As I will be there as well. And so you have a free gift for us, for our audience. Can you talk a little bit about that? And we'll put the
there is a ceremony for connecting with the ancestral support. All of us have ancestors. And in addition, we have spiritual lineages that we draw from. And it's just much easier to be all that we can be with the support of the ancestors. So this is a spiritual support that many of us in the West just don't even think about, but it's there. So I'm going to share some very practical, tangible ways for us to really activate that support in our day-to-day life.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to put that link right here in the chat for you so you could take advantage of this special offer. Thank you so much for giving us this beautiful gift. Also, any last words or anything that you'd like to share?
To everyone who's listening, may your heart's desires be immediately fulfilled as brightly as a wish-fulfilling jewel. as easily as water flows into the river and from the river into the sea.
Thank you. And where can people find you or reach you?
My website is natural-wisdom.org.
Perfect. And you do have an Instagram page where they can follow you?
I do. Instagram is Natural Wisdom. And I have an additional website, which is mountainpath.org for my Zen teaching.
Awesome. So go ahead and follow Ji Young Padma at Instagram, and you can also find her on her website. We'll put the links in the emails as well as here in the chat. And we want to thank you here for your time today. Thank you so much for being here with all of us. What an honor. And we will see you at Omega.
See you at Omega. Thank you so much. Have a great morning.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was so beautiful having Ji Young Padma. I wish she was here live with us, but I hope you felt the energy and her amazing, amazing beauty that she shared. And, take in, she talked about breathing, and we forget about breathing and this beautiful ritual of just opening up our hearts. What we want to do now is we're going to be talking to Anthony Cahill, Dr. Anthony Cahill, and I hope he is in the house. Floor, is Dr. Cahill in the house right now? I see him. I'm going to ask him to unmute.
You have to unmute me. Oh, there we go. You wouldn't let me unmute. You had to do it.
I did.
The co-host. Yeah, so I tried twice, and finally it said, only the co-host has that power. So
I know. I'm still, Zoom changed so many things. I'm still trying to figure it all out. And every day they're updating something. I'm like, what is going on?
I was trying to change pages to see who else is on here, and it wouldn't let me. That's because we were running a video, but it's another change. So I know it's here to learn.
Right? Learning every day. Well, it's so wonderful to have you here. And let me go ahead and introduce you. You are known as a human engineer, and Dr. Cahill will be talking to us today about rising up with the angels. How perfect is this for Live Your Ultimate Life Summit today? Now, he's going to be sharing his journey from chiropractic care to incorporating the angels to heal, how to access the angels, why it's important, who can do it. And he's going to share this beautiful specific technique he uses to access the angels and how you can do it too. And so stay tuned till the end, because he's going to be guiding us through a beautiful treatment for physical healing. So I want to welcome you officially. It's so great to have you here at Live Your Ultimate Life Summit.
Well, thank you so much. It's been fun watching you and everybody else who's going to be at the summit on YouTube and different avenues. And so, again, that's going to be June 20th to the 22nd. And I just want to, just give a big shout out to Omega. I just can't say enough good things about Omega. I've been blessed to be able to teach there. I think 5 or 6 classes there. The energy is amazing. It's hallowed ground in the most positive way. You just walk in there, you just feel better. It's just absolutely amazing place, and it's just such an honor to be able to teach there. And so this weekend coming up in June is going to be special. I've done other courses like this, but not with this. I would say this. Let me say brand of people who are bringing these different methods, and so you have all these different methods that you get to look at and wonder about and see which one you resonate most with. And so that's what's been really fun, teaching co-teaching classes with other people. But this looks like to be a real special one that's coming up here.
I know.
And you can look at everyone else's stuff and throw it all away and just take mine home, and it'll be worth your time.
I love it. Well,
I know my graduates were waiting for me to say something like that, because I can't tell a joke worth a darn, but I can do something that is kind of humorous, and that's part of my training, is try to keep it light and fun and joyful. Bringing humor is a
we
big thing in
have
teaching.
to. Laughter, humor, it's all about healing, right? It's connected to healing.
Absolutely. You know, I teach other classes there, and some of the stuff I teach in other classes is forcing yourself to laugh. If you're feeling a certain way and you literally fake it, but you just force yourself to laugh, it forces the parasympathetic nervous system to take over for a time. So if if you think if you feel like, I mean, we've all had times where we've had unusual anxiety or felt uncomfortable for something, for some odd unknown reason, and in those times, if you just force yourself to laugh, it automatically switches your nervous system over to the rest and heal parasympathetics. And so that's just one of probably 1,000 things that you learn in my class there that really helps us in times of need.
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but there's actually in India, we have classes, laughter classes that my mother-in-law used to go to. And it's belly laughter. Basically, you're bringing it up from the belly, and that's what's helping the parasympathetic nervous system. And it's funny because you end up crying, honestly, because you're laughing so hard, which is great, an emotional release, right? But I really want to get in, and I want you to share a little bit about yourself and your journey, because it's quite inspiring.
Well, I don't really want to talk about me. I want to talk about imagination and gratitude.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll just ramble for a bit, and we'll loop back around. No, I'll go through just a quick synopsis. I went to I ended up going to chiropractic college because I was told to by a spirit, basically, and I know it was angels. I know it was angels, and I had done lots of study, and I looked at all the different programs out there, and my father was a chiropractor, but that didn't sway me. I looked at different schools, and the reality is after looking at all the schools, I was like, I'm not an air, earth, and water guy, right? I wear boots and I stomp on spiders. I'm not here to save all the scorpions in the world, and so. I finally decided on chiropractic, and I thought I was going to be crunching people's spines. I mean, that's what, when you think of chiropractic, you think you're using your hands and manipulating bones and that sort of thing. And it was probably the second week I got there. I hadn't done any college classes at all, but the second week I got there, I had attended an outside course at this college, and it was a 92-year-old guy teaching. I can't remember the name of it. I can't even remember the name of it, what it was, but it was very fascinating. He was using muscle testing and showing different points on the cranium that would shut the circuits off to the body, and he would do certain very soft tissue adjustments and bring different crystals into the field and nutrition to see all these spots disappear and muscle strength come back and bones moving in the body and people coming out of pain and a lot of different things happening. And I was just really like shocked. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I had a couple of questions for him. And I went up to him at lunchtime. I was like, hey, doc, I got a question for you. And he was sitting back and he's kind of looking off in the distance. He just holds up his left hand. And I'm going, what? He goes, hold on 1 second. And he reaches down with his right arm and he starts down by his wrist and he comes all the way up here and he comes up here. And he's kind of in a daze. And he comes out of it. He goes, what was your question? I said, well, what was that? Keep in mind, I've never been to school. I've never seen any of this stuff. I'm 35 years old at the time. And he's like, oh, well, Mary called me from Kentucky this morning. She was having some heart murmurs, so I just fixed them for her. And I was like, oh, yeah, right. Oh, okay. I'll see you later, doc. I just was like in shock. I was like, this is impossible. I mean, this guy's nuts. He's crazy. I'm out of here. And so I turned and ran away like a little boy at 35. And I kind of just threw his material out in the trash can. I wasn't interested in. I just thought he was a scammer. I mean, I don't know. I just was completely unaware. And a week later, I see another guy sitting in a corner doing some funny stuff with his hands. And I was like, okay, gosh darn it, what the heck is going on here? And so I went over and said, so you're treating somebody somewhere else, aren't you? And he said, yeah, you got to look into quantum mechanics. It's all intention. It's this, it's that visualization, magic. Check out Einstein. He rattled off about 1,000 things. And that is what put me on this road here.
Oh.
In 25 years, I think I've adjusted maybe two bones with force in 25 years.
Wow.
We don't need to do what what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is learning how to do all that crunching, and I was doing the energetic stuff. And so that's what drew me down this road. And it just took a long time before angels finally showed up and started helping me figure out what ails us, and really has brought me where we're sitting at right now and talking about, I teach my classes 100% remote healing, and at this weekend, Grateful Spirit, Happy Money, Happy Healthy Body and Mind, you're going to see remote work. You're going to learn how to do it remotely. It's not my class, it's not TNT, but it's going to be enough that you are going to see, you're going to witness them. I know that we're going to have a few miracles on this weekend and the time that I speak. We've had them every time that we demonstrate this work. Every single time we get to see a miracle. I had a miracle yesterday. I'm not interested in coming into my office not having miracles, and a miracle is, something that's completely unexpected that happens that there's no explanation for.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's divinity. So that's some kind of, higher power, a divine source that comes in and does something that creates this. We are just lucky to be able to direct angels or use intention to have them do that for you, create these miracles. I would never claim to be a miracle worker. I'm not walking on water. I always say I'm so glad I know how to swim.
Right.
But when you have the knowledge, you can direct the angels to create these and unfold right before your eyes. And I know there's a lot of graduates on here. I see all of you. I've looked at all your names. I can't go through all of you. Too many on here. I don't know why you guys are on here. You got something better to do today. And I know them. They're here like, oh, what's he gonna do? They're waiting for me to do something, and I'm going to. I have something new that everybody, whether you are a graduate or not, are gonna get to experience here. It's something new. I've been working on a master class that's coming up in the fall, but I just haven't had a chance to finalize it. But something came in that's really cool, and everyone's gonna get a chance to experience it here today.
I love it. I love it. So, you talked about chiropractors and other, there are so many different kind of chiropractors, because when I started going to a chiropractor, they were cracking and twisting and all kinds of things. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I went to another chiropractor, and he would just work up in the C1, C2, and just do the head thing. And then the last chiropractor really got me, because he was doing entrainments where he would open up certain channels in the back of your spine, and your body would move. And that's what really opened my eyes to energy healing, because I had no idea. And so I love the fact that you can bring so much healing to the body without having to crack the body and manipulate it in ways that maybe it doesn't really need to be,
Well, I'm a big fan of it. Let me just be clear. I'm a chiropractor. I love chiropractic. I love the philosophy of chiropractic. There's a lot of brilliant minds, and I would not be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have excellent teachers, mentors, not only chiropractors, acupuncturists, physiotherapists. Let's see, I even studied with a few medical doctors that were on the spectrum. And so I love anybody who's in healing, even if you're not, everybody who's on here, I love and respect you, because you're trying to heal, whether you're trying to, doesn't matter what you're doing, what your work is. You're healing, you are helping, you're here for the benefit. And if it's a benefit for yourself, it's the benefit for everyone. Because every time that we work with angels, and the grads know I hammer this home every time I teach this, is I'm not working just on you. We're working on everyone on the planet. Every single time we ask the angels to come in from another dimension and to help someone, we are helping everybody. We truly are all one, and we'll see that. You're going to feel it here. I'm definitely, I got something new. I'm excited to unleash on everyone, because the graduates know I love experimenting. And the only way you know if something's real is if you experiment with it. Now I have here in the I'm gonna go ahead and teach you something really quick here, because in the chat here, let's see, is is something there where I'm not going to say her name, but is a shaman told her last year that he saw the soul of a fallen cherub in her, incarnated for thousands of years, initially having been one of the guardians of the tree of life. Do I believe in something like that being possible? Of course, I believe something like that is possible, but not for this. Somebody in a position of power telling you something like that. I don't know. You know, I'm a big fan of not listening to other people. I like to listen to myself. I like to listen to. Let me rephrase that. I like to listen to factual stuff. If a doctor tells you're going to need a knee replacement surgery in 10 years, in your mind you say cancel, cancel, cancel 3 times. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Somebody tells you anything. I mean, so this is incarnated for thousands of years, a cherub in you, a fallen cherub. That's not such a good thing to have in you, right? So in your mind, you should remember that moment when you were told that a fallen cherub came into you. The moment that somebody told you that, and say cancel, cancel, cancel. That's a signal to the subconscious to cancel that imprint that someone from a position of power put into you. I'm not a fan of, if I see something really negative in somebody, I fix it. I don't tell them that. I don't tell them what we have unless it's for training purposes.
Right.
But we have to be careful with our words, especially those of you who are in a position of power. If you are unaware of the white coat syndrome, it's real. A doctor walks into the white jacket. Every time you see a doctor, what do you see in a doctor? It's not a necklace. It's not a bracelet. It's a stethoscope. And so we instantly enter and train into the field of everyone else who has ever had a negative experience with a doctor with a stethoscope. And so these are the kinds of things that we teach in the deeper classes in TNT. But what I'm going to be teaching this weekend with this abundance and happy, this happy money, I think, I can't wait to see Mr. Honda with the happy money. I think my money's pissed off because I spend it all the time. It just doesn't, it doesn't matter. It comes in and it doesn't even have a chance to smile at me. I just spend it. So I can't wait to learn from him for sure.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Well, so, how were you able to develop this technique that you're going to be teaching and others how to access the angels?
Well, I don't think we have time to get too deep into that, but the angels, when I decided to teach, when I had enough clients coming into my office and saying, hey, can I do this? And will you teach this to me? You're going to have to teach this. I don't know. It took a long time before it actually worked for me. I was told very early in practice by a psychic woman who had a dead son with her, talking to her. He was killed in an auto accident that morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And he came home to her, woke her up from the middle of a sleep, and she was with him when she came into my office. I'm gonna cut the story. It's too long, but in a long story short, he basically told me that the reason I was in this particular house in the middle of Los Angeles, middle of 30,000 people with 30 acres behind my house that I didn't own, didn't have to take care of, and led right up to this beautiful mountain, was because they brought me there to learn how to use them for healing. And he gave me ideas on how to do it, and through her, and I know all this is true because of what he told her. No one knew except me. It's like a secret that I had, that there's nobody on the planet knew it other than me. So he picked the one thing to tell her, so that I had absolute 100% faith and belief that this was real. And he told me all of this stuff and about using angels for healing, and that I was brought there to learn how to do it and this and that. And, so I started trying, I'm doing all my stuff, trying. And pretty soon I gave up because it didn't work. And in this business, if things don't work, people don't come. Yeah. So I kind of forgot about it. And then about 10 years later, another mysterious interaction with a client who I can't remember her name, and she's long gone, showed me in a book this kind of like a ritual of how to bring them in. And, we had a miracle, and 4 or 5 more years go by of me working with him all the time. And then getting, every time there was like 3 particular clients who come in every time, like, haven't you got something to work on? They're like, no, I want to know how to use these angels. And I finally got tired of it. And I finally said to the angels that I was going to teach it. And then they started showing me how. They started revealing little things, little innuendos. And for me, it's like a thought. They don't appear to me. I don't have conversations with them. It's more of a thought. It's more of a telepathy, and it's not all the time. It's little tiny glimpses. They like to make fun of me. I don't know why.
Mine used to scratch me all the time. Like I'd feel this itch in my head and I'd be like, as if I had lice, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we all have them, and that's what we're going to be learning at this weekend course. I'm going to be teaching a lot more about your heart. What your heart, how your heart is so influential in your ability to manifest whatever you desire. Your heart sees what the eyes can't, and it's a big part of what I'm going to be teaching. It's going to be fun. Everybody's going to see a miracle or two or three. You're not going to be bored. I know you're really going to enjoy it, and it's going to be really powerful. It's just going to be really powerful to see all of our different avenues of access to these other realms. But we all have angels. I always have people, I don't think I have an angel. No, we all do, and all of us on here, and everybody on the planet. I mean, I like people who are like, oh, I don't believe in angels. Oh, okay, you ever been in a car accident? Yeah, almost at the top of the car was ripped off. I flew off a mountainside and I walked away. Oh yeah.
Well, who saved you?
That's what I'm talking about,
Right.
But we've all had these moments.
Yeah. Can we go into the amazing process that you have for us today?
Sure. So I've been working on this master class that's coming up in the fall for the graduates who are on here. You have to take the first round of total knowledge technique. That's the cream of the crop healing course that I've developed, and it's really for anybody. It doesn't matter your level of healing. I think it's a life-changing course. It's the kind of class that I sure wish I had been able to attend in all of my studies. I'm really proud of it, but that's the proof's in the pudding. All you graduates on here, I brainwash, I pay all them to come on here and show up.
I should have paid
it's
mine.
just, I'm kind of blushing because it's such an honor. I mean, I can't, words can't carry how grateful I am. I mean, I haven't seen some of these people for a couple of years, and I see their names and I remember all of them.
I love it.
And it's just such an honor to be able to, and I don't know what everybody is doing with the angels. We have a mentorship and not everybody's on it. We have, some people who are taking the studies deeper, but I know that all of them who have been through this course have more access to angels than the average person, because they showed me how to bring you up to speed really quick. And we're going to do some of that this weekend in June. But so I've been working on this master class, and again, they start, I'm like, okay, master class. All right, it's time to start thinking about this. And the first thing that comes to my mind, okay, I'm just going to start here and do everything. Start with the brain, go to the eyes, nose, mouth, throat, heart, lungs, just going to go through the whole body and just try to put down on paper everything that I've ever learned about each individual space. And when I started on the brain, it was almost like my dad from the grave was like, come on, dummy, you know what to do with the brain.
Right.
That's how he would talk to me, I mean, so
that's right.
And so that's, it's fine with me, but and then they showed me a real simple thing that that really helps with all the cortices of the brain talk to one another, and to really start help healing the blood-brain barrier, which in these times we are exposed to a lot more things than we were 20, 30, 40 years ago. That's a simple discussion. People don't respond the way they used to chiropractic because humanity has changed. We've been exposed to more chemicals and more things in the last 30 years than the previous 300.
Yep.
And so all of our blood-brain barriers have been invaded. Our brains are invaded. So many people talk about brain fog now. It's like a new disease because everyone has brain fog, can't find that word. And then what's really happening is I'm finding that the brain, when it's so either toxic or confused, it's now creating distal problems in people. Like I using this technique yesterday, I fixed a woman who had 10 degrees of motion in her shoulder. So she could go like this with her shoulder, and all we did was the brain protocol, and she went like this.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely zero pain, and just from doing this one protocol. So whatever's out, whatever's going on with anyone, get a sense of it before we do this, and you can, we'll see how well this works. That's the experiment. I love to experiment.
So we have
I
about
think we should,
a few
I
minutes,
think
and
so,
yeah, I'd love to get into this. We have about a few minutes, so.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have something's popping up here now. Oh, I love it. It says, it sounds like I may have switched to a different language. I love it. That's what I have, actually.
We're not in a different language, too.
We got angel language going on.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we did talk about cancel, cancel, cancel. That is a really big deal. And there's a couple more chats here just to make sure there's nothing else happening here. That someone we asked me yeah, okay. Yes, many evil things. Anybody tells you anything evil, you remember the event and you say cancel, cancel, cancel. You cancel it, and that simple command, those 3 cancels, really gets deeper into by remembering and imagining when you were told something negative about yourself, whether you were a child or whether you were an adult, doesn't matter how long ago. Those 3 words, simple cancel, 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 sends a perturbatory message into the subconscious that will start dissolving that imprint.
Perfect. So we have,
and we're all waking up to this matrix. I'm sorry, I'm almost done here. I'm a bigger fan of eating really well and than I am detoxing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're all waking up to what's been going on around us, and that's why we're all here, is to continue this awakening. And
Yeah.
so I know that's going to really happen. I mean, we had some really amazing things happen last year, Omega. There's too much to get into, and it was in the weekend classes. We had amazing stuff, and the TNT, we had absolute miracles. Stuff I can't. It's just absolutely mind blowing. And I'm also teaching a heart focus technique in the fall at Omega this year, and that's more heart centered, more self healing. TNT is to help yourself and others. Heart focus is really primarily for yourself. Okay, so get a sense of what's happening in your body. Move your arms, move your leg. If you got a sore neck, kind of feel it. It's always nice to have everybody feel what's happening. Doesn't matter if you have a sore toe, sore knee, sore hip, back, neck, whatever it is. Get a sense of it. Doesn't matter if you're constipated, you're about not to be. You may want to find that button that shuts your video off. And then let's have everybody take a breath in and breathe out. Close your eyes and just relax your minds. Einstein said imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions. So I want you to just close your eyes and just start to imagine a scene that really resonates with your body, your mind, and your spirit. Like a river, a waterfall, an ocean, forest, perhaps. Just any place in nature that you really love to be, that just felt good to your soul. And I'm just moving your mind there because any place that felt good to your soul felt good to your brain. And cherish that vision that you have, this place that you've been. Really let it unfold its knowledge into your mind. This all the knowledge of nature, the gratitude that it pulls out of getting to be in this beautiful space that you've been to before. It can be playing a sport. It can be any place doing anything that you love to do or love to have been. And feel into that vibration that it brings. Yep, really feel into it, cherish it, bless it, just be so grateful that you got to be there and see it. And we're expecting this new story of this perfectly balanced brain is what is in my mind. That's how I do the treatment. And it isn't really a treatment. It's a suggestion. It's a nudge deep into the brain. And then I'll have you take a breath in and a breath out. And now you can come back into your chair and you can recheck your body and see what happened physically.
It's
I
interesting.
hope that helps.
It's interesting because for me, I feel it in the heart space. Like I feel expanded, you know, and I'm sure everybody is going to feel something different, somewhere different. So I'm curious to see what everybody's feeling. So just put in the chat what's coming up for you. And, you know, as our time is coming to an end with Dr. Cahill, I do want to say thank you so much. We are going to put your gift. Can you just talk quickly about your Be Alive gift, right? That's the gift that you have.
Yes, it is. I think it's 30 minutes long, and it talks you into a space of just complete relaxation. And that's where the automatic healing occurs. It's been imbued with angelic energies. I imbue these about every month. Every month that I remember, I'm just like, oh, let me just make sure those continue. And so it isn't anything specific. It's just a global healing and a global relaxation. If you're not good at meditation, put on Be Alive, and you'll discover what meditation feels like.
I love it. I love it. And all right. Yep. People are responding, feeling more open, feeling more connected to faith. Thank you. Calm. I feel the back of my heart is unlocking finally, warmth in the heart area. So, wow. Okay. So we were all feeling the heart.
Yeah, it's a big heart brain heart connection.
Yeah.
Part of the treatment is heart. I should have mentioned that more, but it really, the heart brain connection is huge, and that was a big that's what that new treatment is. So I'm really excited to have done that for everyone, and I expect it to continue.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you here, and I can't wait to see you at Omega, June 20th to the 22nd. We are going to put the Omega link if you want to join us, which we invite you to join us, and can't wait to see you all there. So thank you, Dr. T. And
thank you so much for hosting this, and all of you coming on here. Big love to all of you. Mwah. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And all right. So our next speaker that we have is Ken Honda. And he couldn't be here either because he is all the way in Japan. And so it's 2 a.m. in the morning his time. And so we have a video from him. And let me go ahead and share this video at this time. Give me one moment. All right. Welcome to everyone who's still joining us here at Live Your Ultimate Life Summit. We are talking next to Ken Honda. Ken Honda, he is an amazing soul and on a mission to empower you to live wealthier and happier lives by healing your relationship with money. Money and happiness expert Ken Honda is the best-selling self-development author in Japan, with book sales surpassing 8 million copies since 2001. His first English language book, Happy Money, The Japanese Art of Making Peace with Your Money, is an international bestseller. His new novel is True Wealth, 9 Lessons from a Grandfather on Happiness and Abundance, and it's available now. We will be talking today about a new definition of true wealth through happy money. And Ken will also lead us through a process. So stay till the end because you're going to walk away with a lot of powerful information that you could start utilizing today. So hello, Ken. So wonderful to have you here with us today.
Hello, Dipal. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. I feel so honored to be here with you.
It is so great to see you once again and be in your energy, because I remember the very first time that we met, and it was just this calming, radiant energy which you bring everywhere you go, and your kindness. I'll never forget that, because it really impacted me deeply, Ken. And I don't know if you remember exactly what you did, but I'll tell you, I'll remind you, is that I was standing up and I was watching you being interviewed with Corey Poirier, and you were like, no, come sit down. Let me get you a chair. Let me, and I was like, no, I'm okay. And you're like, no, here, let me get you a chair. And you pulled up a chair for me. And it really was so sweet. And I know you share this kindness and this energy of yours through all of your teachings. So what I want to start out with is really talking about that happiness and happy money, because sometimes we think that, money doesn't bring us happiness, right? And sometimes people do get unkind because ego gets in the way when money's involved and stuff. But I feel like with money, we can find a place with money. And I love the fact that your book is called Happy Money, because I feel like you make that really great connection and how we can really feel comfortable with this type of energy. So what is happy money, and how can we create such a experience where we can create more of it in our lives?
Yeah, thank you, Dipal. I just remember that what happened very vividly, but it's sort of like my daily life, so I don't really remember details. But thank you for remembering. Yes, it's a little thing. I'm very happy because I have been experiencing happy money since at least 20 or 30 some years of my life. Happy money makes you smile when you receive it, and gives you joy when you spend it. And it's the same money. So even though you make the same amount of money, but the relationship with money changes your life. So if you have a better relationship with money, since money touches every area of your life, relationships, work, health, and peace of mind, and then you feel much less stress around money, and then you feel more appreciation around money. Because think about it, when you receive money, that means that you have done something in the past, and then as a result, people bring you money for you. That means that they appreciate you, they trust you. So out of 20,000 other coaches, they chose you if you're a coach. And if you're a doctor, dentist, florist, same thing. Out of thousands of other choices, they chose you. That means a lot. And if you can feel overwhelming appreciation, wow, thank you. You chose me out of so many people. I mean, this is the same thing. Dipal, you just chose me out of many potential guests. So I feel so honored to be here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Your first English book, Happy Money, and now you've got a second one, True Wealth. What is the definition of true wealth?
So true wealth actually means so many different things for different people. It could be more about visible assets, which is money, real estate, cars, and belongings, materialistic things. And the other things could be invisible wealth, which is trust, friendship, kindness, generosity, peace of mind. So wealth can mean so many different things. I think there are about 14 areas of your life. If you have lots of free time, that is also wealth. And we had a little chat about living in nature. If you have that, that's, I think, another beautiful wealth that some people cannot have the luxury of. So if you have many friends, that is also a great wealth. And if you don't have friends, you don't know what it is. And friends and also family, and also trusted clients and customers, they're also very the exact source of happiness that you cannot overlook. So there's so many definitions of true wealth. So I'm just wondering, what is true wealth for you?
Ooh, for me, it's my family. It's my
passion to give healings to people and teach people. And now that you named this long, long list, I'm ready to make this long list.
Yes, that's so what's fun about this is that more you define, wow, this is true wealth. I never just think about it. I didn't know I had it. Like
Yeah.
peace of mind, like kindness, or love for humanity, or love for gardening, whatever that is. Like the more love you discover in your life, more love you feel. So just to feel the love for your friends, and for your hobbies, for your work, and for your partners or kids, and more love you find, more true wealth you find, the more abundant you become.
Oh, I never thought about all these things as true wealth. I mean, and the way you put it, it really makes me think, and it makes my heart like kind of glow, just thinking about it, because we take things for granted. We don't think of them as well, right? And, I remember somebody told me, you don't have to do this, you get to do this. And it's kind of like that, right? True wealth.
Yes.
You have all these things, and how do we be grateful for those things, and how do we see it in a new lens? And you're helping us do that, which is awesome. So is True Wealth a novel, or is it a self-development book? What realm would it fall into?
Yeah, so True Wealth, I came up with this fun story about the grandfather leaving 9 letters to his grandson. So one day, this 20-year-old boy, K, receives 9 letters from his grandfather's lawyer. And when he opens up, there are 9 letters inside. And the grandfather said, sorry, my grandson, the good news is that I have 9 letters for you to read. And bad news is you're not going to get penny from me, because I donated all the money to charity. And have fun, go out and travel. And when he opens the first letter, it says synchronicity. So each letter has a title: synchronicity, action, decision, money, work, failure. So one by one, he opens up a new letter, and then something happens. So this boy gets guided by the synchronicity, and then gets guided by life. So that is a story.
I love it. So is that boy you?
Yes, sort of, because I didn't have a wealthy grandfather, but I have many mentors. So my mentors have guided me in so many different areas. So I just put it in a more novel format so people can enjoy the synchronicity. So a lot of my readers just study reading this, and then they co-experience the same thing as this main character goes. So when some synchronicities happen, they follow that. So in the book, it says in the grandfather's letter, when you hear something twice, pay attention. When you hear the third time, go for it. Like Hawaii. I kept hearing Hawaii twice. And then this flag just got up. And then when I heard about Hawaii third time, I just flew there and just figure out. And then out of many synchronicities, very interesting thing happened. So like meeting you is also in a way a coincidence. And then they that meeting led me here. And that opens another door, and another door. So life is a series of opening new doors. And people that you don't even know well, they open doors for you. And we open doors for other people as well. So that's what makes it so interesting and fascinating. So I'm opening many doors for my friends, and to Asia, to Japan, and all my American and European friends are so excited to come and visit me, because I do big events, and the upcoming one is happening in Kyoto. So I'm just opening a door for a 2,000-year-old capital. And somehow all the American people love old stuff.
Are you doing anything in India?
Oh yes, I fell in love in India last year. Only New Delhi, so I really want to go to other cities as well. My daughter really loved India, so we'll definitely go back.
Goes there definitely falls in love with India.
Yes, yeah. India is a dangerous place because once you go there, you don't want to go back home.
Exactly. It's that Eat, Pray, Love movie.
Yes, yes, yes. It's so much fun. And by the way, I eat Indian food a few times a week. And the other day, since English is my second language, I talked to thousands of people, and I said, I love Indians. I eat Indians a few times a week, and then everybody laughed. So I meant Indian food, but I said I eat Indians a few times a week, and people started laughing. I don't know why people are laughing, and it sounds like I'm eating Indian people, right?
Exactly.
No, Indian curry a few times a week.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So when you come here and visit me, you'll definitely get all kinds of Indian food. But you know, it's great. I can't wait to read True Wealth, and I just ordered it, so it's yet to come. But as we get deeper into what you teach, you know, about money energy in your courses like Money EQ, what is Money EQ, and how does money flow like energy?
Yeah, thank you so much for studying about my book and material. So about happy money, I just noticed uh, when I met at the very interesting, mysterious woman at the party. This woman at the party asked me if she could take a look at my wallet, and I said yes. And at the time, people are obsessed with celebrities' wallet. Like, wouldn't you be curious what your president has, and Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift has a wallet, and what's in it? And then I said, okay, as long as you just give it back to me, I'm fine. But I just kind of wanted to keep in touch, keep an eye on her. And she took all the bills out, and she said, this is okay, this is okay, this is great. And she put all the money back in, and then she said, you passed the test. And I said, what test? She said, all your money is smiling can inside your wallet. That means you must have made a lot of people happy and receive money. And I said, whoa, that's interesting and good news. And she said, on the other hand, if you make other people unhappy, or if you do what you don't like, your money is crying in your wallet. So like, wow, you're interesting. And she just explained about the things that she can see. So she can tell who you are by looking at your wallet. And she really put me into meditation. And I thought of many friends who have smiling money and who have not smiling money. And I realized that there are only two kinds in the world, happy money and unhappy money. So even though it's the same money, you know, like your uncle could be smiling, and even though your uncle may not be the wealthiest person on earth, he's very generous with money. He donates to charity, and he is just living modest life. And on the other hand, your wealthy, like other uncle, he's very mean and cold, and he may have money, but he's terrible. So money can make people a monster, and at the same time an angel. So it's the same money, but our attitude toward money changes everything. So money emotional intelligence, money EQ, is very important. If you have a high money EQ, that means you're living a very abundant life. And it doesn't really matter how much you have in your bank account and how much you make. So it's about your relationship with money that makes you happy.
What an amazing experience, like to have somebody do that and just tell you, you know, and it's just such a gratifying, like such a validating experience almost, right? Like it gives you this validation that what I'm doing and the path that I'm on is the correct one, you know?
Mhm.
And so that's such a beautiful story. So tell me about the concept of invisible and emotional assets that you talk about. Like, how does this connect to the amount of money flowing into our lives that we can spend or receive?
So once again, it's the energy that circulates in your life. So when you go home, do you go home with happy energy? It's because you made somebody smile with your work. And then as a result of making somebody happy, you receive money. So you're just singing on the way back because lots of happy energy around you. On the other hand, if you're doing frustrated work, you come home very frustrated and you take it out for kids and husband and wife and your parents or loved ones, right? So once again, it's how you relate with money, how you relate with life even. So
Yeah.
if you're full of appreciation about money, work, about the world, then your energy is very calm and fun. And so you can really tell. And even though we are not psychic, we feel the person in front of you. Is this person happy? Or is this
Right.
person sad or depressed or very violent or whatever the energy that person has? It's
Yeah.
because we are just radiating some energy. And then you have to really make sure, people spend so much money and concern about how you smell and how you look, but we don't really pay much attention about our energy. Our energy is comfortable, or our energy is intruding, or sometimes violent. Some people are even depressing just by the look. It's not physically look, but I think the energy around them.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because, as we tune in and, I think we're feeling a lot of energies nowadays and a lot of stuff around money. I mean, any recommendations as to how to handle ourselves right now in society, just to feel a little bit more certainty? I mean, with all your teachings, there has to be something that we can take away today, especially with the US politics going on, is what I'm talking about. And, it affects everybody, right? Like you said, energy, it affects everybody around the world. So is there one thing that you would like to share with us that we can just take away to help us feel a little more embodied and a little more powerful?
Yeah, so you don't have to force yourself to appreciate something. If you don't like your president, or if you like your president, it's your preference. So which is okay. So whatever you can appreciate, start from there. Like you can appreciate your family, that's relatively easy. And if you can appreciate your clients who bring in business, and also if you can bring more happy energy in your life, how can you do that? Increase the time spent on happy things. So just do more of what you enjoy. It can be a hobby, and appreciate of what you have. If you appreciate money, and then money comes in. If you appreciate love, it comes in. So the more of the things you appreciate. So if you appreciate money, money appreciates. So it's the feeling is mutual. If you appreciate somebody, they appreciate you back. Money is the same thing. If you appreciate money, if you love money, money would love you back. So the more energy, more positive energy you have about life, then you get it back. So appreciate whatever happens in your life. Right now, everybody has to change. It's not just in your country, my country, in Europe, in India, and Africa, wherever you are. Yeah, everywhere we are in the midst of change. And like it or not, the world keeps changing. So you have only two choices, right? One, accept it. Two, you just get upset.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe I'll just, this is my green screen. So this is more
everybody
Japanese look.
All right, so we would love for you to share the process that you have for us today. And I know it was meeting the Japanese goddess of abundance. So
Mhm.
you have a meditation or process. We would love to get started with that, Ken.
Sure, maybe this is why my virtual background fell off. Okay, this is more Japanese, right? Okay, so let's do a quick meditation for a few minutes. I'm going to guide you through the Japanese temple and meet the goddess of abundance. That's what you like, Dipal, right? Okay. Okay, so please relax. And if you feel more comfortable, you can sit in a chair or you can just lie down. If you're driving, probably you should pull over and relax for a few minutes. So open your door in front of you, and then there is a path in a meadow. So you just walk up the meadow about a few hundred yards, and up on the hill, there is a beautiful Japanese temple. In this temple, the goddess of abundance, Japanese abundance, lives. So just go closer to the temple. It's a beautiful looking temple, very calm, serenity, and very peaceful energy. So when you open the sliding door by yourself, there's a place that you can take off your shoes. So you take off your shoes and then go through the corridor. And about 50 yards, you open another door. And this leads to the prayer living room of the goddess. When you open another sliding door, there is this goddess with beautiful kimono. The room is beautifully lit with many candles, and the goddess assures you, and then you're offered to have a seat. And then she offers this beautiful green tea, matcha tea, and some fun sweets. And you take a sip if you like, and just have some nice matcha chocolate and mochi. And as you eat, you listen and enjoy this beautiful atmosphere. As Goddess shares her energy with you, you feel more relaxed and abundant. She says, welcome, I've been waiting for you. Here's a gift. And she passes a small box to you, and then it's made of a beautiful origami, a folding paper, in a very traditional Japanese paper. And when you open that small box, there's something inside. And if you don't see anything, don't get panicked. Just breathe in deep. And then if you want to ask the goddess, you can ask what it is. And she may answer now, or she may just smile. And the answer will be given in your dreams and in your daily life in the next few days. So thank the goddess and just put your gift into your heart so you will not forget it. Feel the warmth in your heart. Put your hand onto your heart and feel that the gift she gave is melting in your heart. And then feel the abundance and peace of mind and very happy, kind energy expressed in your heart. So thank the goddess. And then if you have any questions about money, wealth, or your financial problem, just talk about it. She'll heal it. If you have debt issues, just bring that energy, dark energy, and then pass it over to her. With a swing of her hand, that energy gets cleansed into orange energy and then put it back into your aura. So if you have any concern, please pass it to her. She will heal the energy and give it back to you. As she heals on you, you feel so calm. You feel so refreshed. You feel so together. So just take one more breath, deep breath. and thank the goddess. It's time to leave. Thank the goddess for giving you the healing session. Thank her for the gift. And thank you for the matcha and sweets. And thank the room and gently retrieve from the room. Open the sliding door and then go through the corridor. Don't forget the shoes. Put them on and open another door and get out of the room, get out of the beautiful temple, and then walk down the beautiful meadow. Before you open the door to your body, just take another look at the temple. You can come back to this temple anytime because the goddess of abundance is generous and she will listen to you when you have a financial problem or some issues with life. Open the door and then come back to your body. Just breathing deep one more time and stretch, 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 and then stretch your body and then one more breath, come back to your body and open your eyes, please. Okay, how did you like it?
I loved it. I loved it. See, I don't even have, like, I feel so calm and I feel connected and I actually feel supported, you know, that I could come back to this goddess and that she'll have the answers for me. So thank you. That was just beautiful.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I hope you had so much fun.
Oh, that was amazing. And the sun is shining through the window.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah,
That's a
it's
sign.
beautiful. It's 7:30 in the morning, so you know the sun is about to shine.
Oh my goodness, you know how time flies. I know people love your work, Ken, and you're going to be at Omega on June 20th through the 22nd. What can everyone expect when they join us?
You know, I'm so excited to be there. I've heard so many great things about Omega, so it's my dream come true. So I'm so happy to share about happy money, and I think being together will heal so many different things. I'll do money healing in your past, and then welcoming happy money and how to make your money container bigger and stronger. And so you probably feel much less stress around money. And then by transforming your relationship with money, you transform your life. Because imagine if money is on your side, what would happen? So I'll just share the ideas of how to make your money best friend.
I love it. It's going to be awesome. Join us at Omega on June 20th through the 22nd. We'll put the link in the chat. As well as today, Ken, would you like to, I know you have a wealth meditation audio as a free gift to our summit attendees.
Yes.
I'm just going to add the link, but did you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so if you liked what I did a few minutes ago, you're going to really enjoy that. Because I'm so happy to bring everybody to a deeper level of consciousness. And just guided meditation is so much fun. I love guiding people. I always feel like I'm a very good, fun tour guide into self-consciousness. Because after doing meditations, I'm just hearing incredible results. Like, you know, of course, they improve their financial situation. But the funny thing is that their insomnia is cured. You know, I don't know how, but like I think after deep relaxation, this relaxing switch may be turned on. So.
Yes. I love it. Well, we will share that link in the chat. So everyone, you can grab your meditation right now and also take a look at when Ken is going to be at Omega, and go ahead and sign up now because seats are going to be filling up. So thank you so much, Ken, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Arigato.
Arigato. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now we've got all live interviews, okay, guys? There's no more videos. So I hope you really got some beautiful energy from that, especially from the process that Ken provided. That was pretty amazing. I loved it. I was able to connect with the angels and the goddess of abundance, and our speakers so far have brought so much good information through. And so now it's my turn. So I'm very excited to bring to you a little bit about what I want to talk to you about. So again, I'm Dipal Shah, and I'm a medical intuitive. People also call me the body whisperer. And today I want to share with you the key to your healing, your healer archetype. So several years ago, I was rushed into the doctor's office. I was scared, I was frustrated, and I was in so much pain. And as I'm waiting for the doctor to come into the exam room, you know, I'm pacing around, and he comes in and he goes, "Dipal, what's going on?" And I'm telling him that, "Doctor, I've got this horrible pain right in my abdominal area, right in the middle of my ribs. And I don't understand where it's coming from. I'm crunched over. I cannot breathe. I've tried eating. I've tried not eating. I tried drinking water. I tried not drinking water. I've changed my diet. I sleep on the right side, left side. I tried the purple pill. I tried Gas-X. I tried Malox. I've tried all these things. I don't know what to do." And right when I thought he was listening, he looks up at me and immediately he blurts out, "Surgery." And I was like, "What?" That didn't even cross my mind. I don't think I need surgery. I don't think I need my organ removed. And I was completely confused. I was like, "Aren't there any other tests that we can run?" And he was like, "Listen, Dipal, this is really quick. I've done a ton of these surgeries. You'll be in and out and you'll be pain-free." I was like, "Well, it sounds good." And so I thought about it for a moment. He said, "Just go ahead and set up, you know, schedule your surgery and we'll be good to go." And he left. So I sat there for a moment trying to figure out what just happened, but I told the nurse, and then I told the scheduler, I said, "Listen, I'll call you about this. I really need to think about this." And they're like, "That's fine." So I walk out and I'm thinking about this on my way home. I couldn't sleep. You know, I was tossing and turning. And as a pharmaceutical rep at that time, I was exposed to the medical world for decades. And what he was doing, I couldn't even be mad at him because he was just doing his job, what he was taught. But the frustrating part was that I know there's another way. So I decided if the doctor wasn't going to help me, I was going to help myself. And that's what I did. So I Googled, I researched, I mapped out all the things that I was learning about, why I was having the symptoms that I was having. And I read books and I watched YouTube videos, and then I started taking courses. And in the beginning, all the information that I was finding kind of felt like woo-woo. And in my mind, I was like, "Dipal, do you really believe this? Is it real? Should I keep digging? And is it really possible?" But all the information that was running through my head at that time, as I read testimonial after testimonial of other people finding real healing for the first time, people just like me, I was like, wow, I want to go deeper. And I did. I went in so deep that I took my chance because I was like, well, what do I have to lose? Because the medical world has failed me. I wasn't going to fail myself. Everything that I was finding was funneling down to one thing: energy. And I started applying some of those things in my life a little bit at first. Like I would do some mirror work, you know. I don't know if you guys have heard of Louise Hayes. She had mirror work, and you know, you tell yourself, I love you. So at first I was like, because it's hard, right? Telling yourself I love you. Oh my gosh. Well, that was the first big jump that I took. And by the time I was done telling myself I love you, the whole world, I think, heard it. And then I started to meditate 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, where I even caught my little room on fire that I was meditating. So I've had all these crazy experiences as I'm going through these changes in my life. And then I started incorporating herbs and spices and cooking for myself and yoga and setting intentions, doing gratitude journals. And you guys relate, right? You guys relate to this? So, you know, the craziest thing happened and I started to feel better. For the first time, I was like, wow, what's going on? Because people around me started noticing, my husband, my kids, they're like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're you know, you're so calm and you're so peaceful and you're not so reactive. And I found that within myself as well, that I finally figured out who I was in this entire process of searching for healing. And things just got better and better for me. I started thinking more positive. My emotions were different. My reactions to life, my health, the pain was gone. And not only that, but I became so intuitive. And that's why I started to dive into my purpose of being a medical intuitive and helping others who are in the same boat where doctors don't have answers for them. I believe that any body can heal. And so for nearly a decade, I've helped over 6,000 people in 92 different countries find healing for themselves and create a life that is meaningful and purposeful. And, you know, I know Western medicine doesn't always have the answers for us. According to the World Health Organization, 10 to 20% of people who go to see the doctor come out without a clear solution, which means that millions of people around the world are left with no answers, no relief, no idea what to do next. But here's the one thing that they're not telling you, not the doctor, not the media, not your teachers, not your family members, not your friends. And it's not because they're hiding it from you. It's because they just don't know it. They were never taught. And that leaves you feeling scared, lost, frustrated, wondering if there will ever be any kind of change. But I'm here to tell you that change is possible, healing is possible, and there is hope. And I know, you know, I've had friends at that time when I wasn't well, and it was for a very long time that everyone would just tell me, you know, drink more water, do a detox, try a new diet, you know, stop stressing, go exercise, try some grounding sheets. And I'm like, okay, so what I'm saying is that until we tune into the body on a deeper level, none of the stuff that we do will really get to the root cause. And while medicine focuses on symptoms, inner healing addresses root causes. And we have to start shifting from victimhood to empowerment. That's the very first thing that I would recommend for those of you here listening. You know, we have to move and shift that mentality, that energy that we hold sometimes. You know, you can start becoming more aware of your thoughts and emotions and limiting beliefs. That's what I did. And it changed my life because I was starting to recognize how negative I truly was. And I stopped it. As I was thinking things, I would stop it right in its course. I would not let it finish its thought, its sentence. And the things I spoke out of my mouth, I wanted to make sure that they were also positive. And it takes practice, but we can do it because energy is all around us and within us, that life force energy that lives within us. And we have to sometimes train it, you know? And, you know, we have to shift our habits, right? Because we have these habits and behaviors that run in the subconscious. And until you do that, your body's going to keep responding to illnesses and anxiety and depression, fatigue and pain. There are so many programs running in the background of our mind, just like reinforcing these things of fear and stress. You know, when you wake up in the morning, how many of you have like a to-do list and you're already like hyper, you know, you're already in this fight, flight, freeze mode as soon as you wake up. And when we constantly tell ourselves that, you know, I'm stuck, I'm weak, I'm powerless, your body starts to believe you. And over time, the cells respond accordingly. Your cells have memory. And that's why I see so many people self-sabotaging their healing. Your body wants to heal. It's not against you. It's trying to be friends with you. And healing starts from the moment that you decide to take your power back. And that means shifting your thoughts and emotions and limiting beliefs, shifting what happened to you in the past. And once you acknowledge this, you're able to create long-term lasting change. You can start feeling more empowered, more confident. Notice that you're responding to situations rather than reacting. That's the first sign of progress. Then you start to deepen your awareness by paying attention to your thoughts and how often do they spiral into negativity. Scan your energy pathways by focusing on 3 main energy channels or even just your life force energy. Is it up and down, up and down? Because these pathways influence your physical and emotional well-being. And then you want to clear what comes up with quantum techniques that you may know, or that you've practiced, or that you've heard of. As you identify these blocks, you know, use targeted methods to release them. It's so important. Whether it's breath work, visualization, or guided quantum clearing exercises, and I teach all of those, then that's when you start to experience transformation. And when you're done, you consistently and do it correctly, this process leads to dramatic shifts in the overall health of yours. And what we need right now is emotional stability. Things are, you know, I've noticed certain thoughts coming up in my own mind sometimes, certain emotions coming up. And when you start working on all these things, you're going to feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. See, I'll never forget one of my students, Michelle, and she was a flight attendant. And when she first came to me, she was in tears. And on our call, she said, Dipal, My life is a mess. I'm going through a divorce. I hate my job. I've got physical symptoms going on in my body, and I don't understand. I'm exhausted all the time. Is it me? And in that moment, I helped Michelle realize something life-changing. The exhaustion, the heaviness, the sickness, it wasn't hers. She was carrying everyone else's energy, the passengers, the strangers, the co-workers, and she was absorbing it all. And I guided her through a simple exercise. And instantaneously, like, she felt different. For the first time, she understood why she felt so depleted. And over the next few weeks, she followed my step-by-step process. And by the end of that, Michelle was like this new person. She had learned to stay present, protect her energy, and take control of how she felt every single day. Not only did she regain her energy, she enrolled in my Quantum Body Awakening Medical Intuitive program and became a craniosacral therapist. And now she's helping others heal themselves. And maybe you felt this too, where you're exhausted and drained by other people's energy around you and you feel overwhelmed, but you don't have to. Let me show you an exercise, how to reclaim your energy and reclaim your life. So take a nice deep breath in. Just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in. And in this moment, I want you to ask your body which way is yes, and let your body move however it wants to. Allow your body to move. It might move, sway to the right, sway to the left, whatever it wants to do. Let go if you're tense. Just relax. And ask yourself which way is yes. And now ask yourself which way is no. And notice which way the body sways. Remember this. Now, drop into your energy and ask your energy, how do you feel right now? Are you feeling heavy, scattered, anxious, light? What are you feeling? And now ask, is this mine? And see which way your body sways. And if it's not, let's clear, cancel, delete. We ask that energy to be cleared now. And I want you to imagine this beautiful butterfly wings or angel wings. And go ahead and wrap your whole body up in these angel wings or butterfly wings. And breathe in and breathe out. And now relax. And notice how your energy feels right now. Does it feel different? Is it lighter? Is it freer? Is it fluffy? Can you breathe better? And now open your eyes. Put in the chat how you're feeling. Did you notice that it was completely different from the energy that you were feeling before? This is how you reclaim your power. This is how we stop and pause and say, you know what? I'm in charge of my energy. This is your path to empowerment. And you could do this exercise anytime you want. Okay? We all have superpowers. Make this your superpower. Our superpowers are innate to each and every one of us. You know, my daughter, she's an empath. She's highly sensitive, and she can feel everyone else's energy. She can read their energy. She sees auras. She hears messages from the angels. And that's her superpower. And it may be yours too. But when it comes to certain things, she forgets things. She's a daydreamer. She's like a deer in headlights, you know? And it's that her Achilles heel is that she's not grounded. And maybe you've been told, oh yeah, I'm not grounded. And grounded, what does that mean? I'm not present, right? That's what grounded means. So, which I find that many of my clients struggle with. And they'll go buy grounding sheets and learn 10 different grounding techniques. And I first looked at my daughter and I said, okay, let's figure out why you're feeling ungrounded. Is it EMFs? Is it toxins? Is it social media? We have to pinpoint these things that are causing her to be ungrounded. And that's what we did. And then I taught her a specific grounding exercise that worked for her and her energy and her body so that she could be more aware and more present and more focused. And this is the number one problem that my clients face, is grounding themselves and protecting their energy. And here's the thing, like, if you don't address what's really going on inside, no product is going to work, right? And so this beautiful process that I shared with you is going to help empower you and allow you to be more present, because now you own your energy. So here's the key. Awakening your superpowers begins with understanding your healer archetype, identifying which one you are. And once you know this, we can pinpoint your Achilles heel. And from there, you'll be able to practice specific exercises that are tailored specific for your archetype. And that's going to help you heal and bring you back to wholeness. See, there's 5 different archetypes. And you know what? These 5 archetypes, I encourage you to go find out which one you are. You could go to anandaforlife.com, which is my website, and immediately take the quiz. Because there's 5 archetypes: the intuitive, the nurturer, the energy alchemist, the warrior, and the sage. So I highly encourage you to go uncover where you're deeply connected to healing and where you might be in alignment or out of alignment. And when you discover your healer archetype, you're going to awaken a power within you that's immensely life-changing. Right? Picture a day where you wake up with clarity, feeling light, energized, and completely at peace. Picture a day when you trust yourself fully, knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be. Picture a day when people are looking at you saying, what are you doing? I want to do it too. And that day starts today. So take that quiz. I highly encourage you. I will be at Omega June 20th to the 22nd with Dr. T and Ken Honda and Ji Hyang Padma and Brett Bevel, as well as with Brad Yates. So come and join us, because it's going to be such an empowering weekend that I just can't wait to step into the sacred space and share all the wisdom and knowledge that I've shared with you today. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to be talking about a specific energy within your body and how to awaken and tap into the hara and really help you find that transformative power of healing within yourself. And I can't wait to be there with each and every one of you. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you enjoyed the process. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to go back into my host costume now because Brad Yates is on the other side, I believe. Flora, do we have Brad here? And Flora went ahead and put my website where you can take your quiz right now if you want, or you can wait till later. She also put some other links as well as the Omega link if you want to come. I know, again, seats are going to be filling up and we really want to make sure that you get the best seats in the house. So let me go ahead. And Flora, is Brad here, my dear? I see Brad. All right.
Now I can speak.
Hi.
Hey, Dipal.
So good to see you.
Likewise.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Thank you for that awesome exercise.
Yes, you're so welcome. So welcome. It's so wonderful to see you. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you first so everybody knows. Hold on one second. I just need to get out of this. All right. So I have gotten to know Brad over the last 6 months. I actually discovered him through one of my clients, and then I looked him up. And I was so intrigued by his background that I reached out to Brad because he was on my favorite show, Days of Our Lives. And so I was
I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV.
Exactly. And the rest is history. Here we are. Welcome, Brad. It's so great to have you with us today. And, you know, being in this Live Your Ultimate Life Summit, I know you're going to be sharing with us about tapping into abundance. It feels like abundance is the theme. And so I know you're also going to be leading us through a process, tapping process. And for some of you who have done, you know, if you've done tapping before, then it's great. But if you haven't, then you definitely want to stay for this process because it's pretty life-changing and amazing. So let's talk about tapping.
Let us talk about tapping indeed. You know, I love this process because it's such a simple way. I mean, first of all, for anyone who's not familiar with tapping, is going, what the heck are they talking about? We're not talking about tap dancing. Although I can do that as well, but not well.
I don't doubt it.
I was a drama major. So we are literally tapping with our fingertips on key places on the face and torso. And if you are new to this, I know that sounds weird. But there's a reason why we do it. So it's based in acupuncture. So for thousands of years in Chinese medicine, they've said there's a flow of energy through the body along pathways that are called meridians. And when this energy is flowing naturally, we experience our natural state of health and well-being, physically and emotionally. When this energy gets stuck, we don't feel so good. We don't think as clearly. We don't make the best choices, and that has all kinds of unfortunate consequences for our lives. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the doctor would stick needles in these key points to stimulate that healthy flow of energy. And we're just doing that by tapping on these points. And it's, if you thought of it as nothing more than stress relief, because that's one of the key things it does, is the tapping sends a calming signal to the brain. Most, if not all, of the things that bother us physically and emotionally are either caused by or worsened by stress. So to have a very simple technique for down regulating stress is so useful in almost any area of life. In terms of including abundance, we can talk about, oh, tapping to lower stress, tapping to clear out anger, tapping to resolve resentment or other uncomfortable emotions. And then some people say, well, what about, how is tapping going to help you with abundance? Well, the extent to which we don't have what we say we want tends to be the extent to which we are resisting it. I'm going to say that again. The extent to which we don't have what we say we want tends to be the extent to which we are resisting it. I only say tends. It's not an absolute. It's not like everything. I'm not saying, no, the universe is totally open and it's all you and you're doing all there. I'm open to the idea that there are things that are beyond our control. But we don't know the limits. And there's certainly a whole lot more that we could allow, an abundance of all good things, health, wealth, happiness, love. And so it's looking at, okay, what is that resistance that I might have? And where is it stuck in my body? And then using this simple process to clear it out. Yeah, and someone said emotional freedom technique, EFT, developed by Gary Craig from the work of Dr. Roger Callahan, who first created thought field therapy. It was Dr. Callahan working with a woman with a water phobia, who was learning about acupressure and helped resolve her lifelong water phobia very, very quickly, and
Wow.
started developing this thought field therapy. And it was a somewhat complicated process of diagnosing what issues needed to tap which points in which order. And Gary was one of his first students, and Gary had his degree in engineering from Stanford. So thinking like an engineer, he thought, how do we simplify this process? And said, rather than figuring out which points to tap in which sequence, let's just tap all the points in order. And then he called this more simplified version EFT. Yes, happy to give Gary credit and also give Dr. Callahan credit. I learned I had my first workshop from Gary and then assisted him in a number of workshops.
Wow. Well, I know I started EFT as well when I first started energy healing, and I found out about EFT, and it really helped me with a lot of the emotions and the trauma that I had been through. And that was one of the things that I always went to because it really helped not only release the emotions that I was holding on to, but the trauma itself. So I know it's very, very effective for those people who do try it. And you mentioned phobias. Maybe I should try for my height phobia and any other phobias I have, because I know we all have phobias. But what got you into tapping? I forgot to ask you that, because from going from TV to tapping, that's a huge shift.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention. I had traveled the world doing theater, went to Hollywood to be a movie star, did Days of Our Lives, and also met this wonderful woman and fell in love and got married. And when our first child was on the way, I thought I might need a backup career.
Yeah.
So I had always been fascinated by the power of the mind and saw an ad for hypnotherapy school. I thought that would be cool. So I went through the training and started building a small practice as a hypnotherapist while also pursuing my acting career. And after a couple of years, when our second child was born, I realized that as much as I loved acting, this is what I was supposed to be doing. It's personal development work. And so we left Los Angeles, moved to Northern California, and through some other hypnotherapists, I heard about this energy psychology conference. And this guy named Gary Craig was doing a workshop on tapping on EFT. And I went, and one of the things Gary had us do was he gave everybody pieces of chocolate and said, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you want that chocolate? And I was a bit of a chocoholic at the time, and like 8, 9. And he tapped with us for a few minutes on this. And after a few minutes, I could not eat the chocolate. And I did not eat chocolate for 2 years after that. I got better. I recovered over a couple of years, but I was like, wow, this is really interesting. So after that, I went back and in my hypnotherapy sessions after that, I started introducing the tapping. It's like, we have a few more minutes. Let's do this little thing. And little by little, it became my main technique.
Mm.
Still do some guided imagery in my workshops, though.
Right, right. And I love it because, with tapping, I feel like, sometimes do you think that people have resistance, any kind of resistance when they're tapping?
Well, definitely a lot of people have resistance to tapping
Yeah,
because partly because it looks a little strange,
yeah,
but also even more, another big thing is we want things to be different. We just don't want to change
yeah.
because as human beings, we resist change. It's scary to us. And so it's like we have an electric fence around our comfort zone. And when we get close to the edge, maybe we've touched it and it's shocked us and we step back, or we just feel that energy when we get there. And that's a stress signal.
Mm.
So it may happen at an unconscious level. We may be, I don't mean to say, it's not that we are on a daily basis resisting opportunities to increase our abundance, to be happier, all kinds of different things,
Mm.
because something says it's not safe. And so what happens with when we're tapping is we are calming down that stress response. So it's like cutting the wires to the electric fence so we can get to outside our comfort zone and say, oh, you know what? This is okay. This is safe. I can handle this. And it just opens up our opportunities.
Mm. So, how much time should someone dedicate to tapping session in order to see some kind of result?
I recommend tapping on a daily basis, even if it's just a few minutes,
Mm.
because this is energy hygiene. We have physical hygiene, like brushing our teeth and taking a shower.
Yeah.
Most people do it on a daily basis, whether they need it or not, because by the time you know that you need it and people around you are holding their nose, it's like, I'm taking a shower in 3 days. I should probably do that. So most of us have a maintenance schedule with brushing our teeth and showering before we need it.
Yeah.
We don't check first and say, I want to do it. With stress, we don't have any kind of healthy, people have a lot of unhealthy ways of managing stress, but very few of us are taught healthy ways to deal with stress. And by the time that you're aware, like with your body odor, if people are holding their nose, by the time we've gotten to that point of awareness with stress, we're already making bad choices.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's obvious, like we're yelling at people or we're messing things up, or it's happening in subtle ways where we are missing those opportunities. So with tapping, sometimes you can feel relief in moments. Sometimes happens very quickly. I say that sometimes it's like a painkiller
Right.
where it's like we take it and shortly afterwards it's like I can definitely feel the relief.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like a vitamin. Nobody has ever taken a vitamin and thought, "Wow, I suddenly feel so awesome." But
That's
we
true.
know that but we know that it's beneficial, so over time we get the benefits. And there's a growing body of scientific research validating the effectiveness of EFT for particularly downregulating stress, lowering cortisol levels. My friend Dr. Peter Stapleton has done research with fMRI studies where you can see different parts of the brain where those parts of the brain are lit up. And then after tapping, those parts of the brain have calmed down, like with cravings and things like that. So we have the evidence showing that even if you're tapping for a little bit and you're saying it's not making a difference, I'm not feeling any different, we're not consciously aware of the changes. But there are biological markers that could be studied that would show, I know you don't think you're feeling better, but here, look at this. These parts of your brain are calming down. Your cortisol levels have dropped. But sometimes it happens very quickly where we definitely notice that. So how long it takes, it depends on all kinds of things. For when we're doing the tapping, and we'll do it in just a moment here, if we're looking at an issue that's bothering us, we'll rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. And so it may be, oh, I'm feeling really angry. I feel it in my shoulders, and it's an 8 out of 10. And we can start tapping, and it might go from an 8 to a 0 like that. It may just go from an 8 to a 7.75. But when we're feeling these things in our body, any kind of relief is welcome.
Yeah.
So, so actually, should we do some tapping on abundance? Unless you
Yeah,
have another question first.
let's do that. And I just had one more question because I know we all are practicing different kinds of abundance practices, maybe, and just out of curiosity, how does tapping complement other abundance practices like visualization and law of attraction and affirmations? Because I'm sure, we're all working through some form of abundance practices. And if we want to incorporate EFT, how can we do that? Like, is that okay?
It's awesome, I think. I think it's sort of the missing ingredient for a lot of folks. So, 20 years ago, I did a program called Money Beyond Belief with Dr. Joe Vitale from The
Mhm.
Secret. We did it just before The Secret. And I know Joe because that's how we met.
Yes.
Um, but we both were coming to the same place in terms of the law of attraction was starting out. Abraham Hicks was becoming very popular, and
Yeah.
Joe had worked with them and knew them, and they were talking about this 4-step manifestation process, and we were both saying there's a missing link here because they're saying think about what you want and feel really good about it.
Right.
But what if we don't feel really good about it? And we all think that we feel really good about money. But we almost all of us have beliefs like money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy and bad, and all of this stuff. So our conscious mind is like 5 to 10% of our mind. The other unconscious is 90 to 95%. So the conscious mind is saying, I want to be rich. I want a sports car. I want a private jet. I want a house on the beach. That's 5 to 10% of your mind going up against 90 to 95% that says, your parents hated rich people, so they'll hate you. Your friends will be jealous, or they'll all want a handout. The IRS is going to be on your case. There's going to be, and you'll be a bad person, and you shouldn't be a bad person. And so we brilliantly sabotage our success. So when we're looking at our vision board and we're going, I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really good about it. That's our conscious mind feeling good about it. But in our body, there's all kinds of stuff saying, no, no. And so law of attraction is all about having that energetic vibrational connection. But what you're vibrationally sending out is, please no, do not give me this stuff that'll make it bad for me. So the tapping is a great complementary therapy to all these other practices by saying, I'm going to visualize this, I'm going to affirm this. Tapping while saying affirmations is great because so often when we're saying affirmations, the energy in our body is the opposite. Say, I'm rich, I'm rich. And our unconscious, that's 5 to 10% of our mind. And the rest of us is saying, who are you kidding? You are broke as all get out. And that's the energy that I'm putting out there. So the universe is saying, okay, if that's the energy you're putting out, I'll give you more of that.
Yeah.
And so we sit there and go, why is this not working? But while we're tapping with that, we're calming down the stress and we're shifting the energy. We're shifting what we're putting there. And we start to say, you know what? I am rich because, the money may not be in my bank, but I can go outside and I can see the sunshine or the abundance of rain, whatever the weather might be, there's abundance. And I can recognize that abundance. And the beliefs that are telling me that I'm broke and putting me in that negative energy are just misunderstandings. And I shift that energy so that as I practice the visualization, as I practice affirmations, all of these different practices I might have, I'm now in that energetic vibe with abundance. So
I love that. So let's go right in.
let's do that right
I
now.
love it.
So invite everyone to close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed, go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allow yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this process. And just following your breath through your body, noticing what you're feeling physically and emotionally, allow yourself to think about the abundance that you would like to experience. It might be financial abundance, it might be an abundance of friends, it might be an abundance of opportunities for the work that you do. It might be a greater abundance of health. Imagine what that abundance would look like. Imagine yourself having that. And being aware of what's going on in your body, say, it is safe for me to have this abundance. And just noticing how you feel, rate that on a scale of 0 to 10 as to how true that feels. Now, some of you are going to be inclined to say, oh, it is a 10. It's a 10 plus. And if you're saying that and you don't actually have that abundance right now, I'm going to challenge you to take another look. And just notice where there might be parts of you that feel uncomfortable, where you feel stress, fear, doubt. Notice any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that might come to mind as to why you couldn't or shouldn't have this abundance. Recognizing that you are resisting abundance. Not because you're bad or stupid, but because you have old programming about why it's not safe to have it or why it would be wrong to have it. Just allowing yourself to be aware of that. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. And so the basic protocol of EFT, as Gary laid it out, is we're going to start by tapping on the side of our hand, and we'll make a statement 3 times to create the opening for the work. Then we'll be tapping the eyebrow point, right at the beginning of your eyebrow, right here at the corner of your eye, right under the middle of your eye, right under your nose, right under your lower lip, right here where your collarbones just about come together. There's a little bit of a U shape at the base of your throat. You can make a fist there. About 4 inches below your armpit. It's right about bra strap level, and I'm sure even the guys on the call can figure out where that is. And finally, the top of your head. So with all of your fingertips tapping around the crown of your head. So those are the points we're going to tap. So just to repeat back what I say and tap where I'm tapping. Even though I might be resisting greater abundance, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I might be resisting greater abundance, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I might be resisting greater abundance, which sounds crazy to me, because why on earth would I be resisting that? I might be resisting the idea that I'm resisting it. And even though I might be resisting greater abundance, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself, and maybe anyone else who's contributed to this resistance. All this possible resistance to greater abundance, all this resistance that I might have. Part of me says I don't have it, which is brilliant. Because if part of me says I shouldn't have money, it's not safe to acknowledge that there's resistance. Because then I might go and clear it and receive that abundance that I think is so dangerous. So I insist that I'm not resisting it. And if someone was to watch my daily behavior, they would see that I'm always moving the needle towards abundance, always looking for opportunities to increase my abundance. And I know that's not true. Sometimes I do things that very definitely lower my abundance. And it's not that I'm bad or stupid. It is not that I am weak or lazy. It's just that I have a lot of old programming about why I couldn't or shouldn't have greater abundance, especially around money. Parents saying we're not the kind to have riches. And so it would be wrong to have it. So instead of complaining about my lack of riches, I choose to congratulate myself on all of my efforts to be the kind of people that we are. And now I choose to recognize that was BS. It was a misunderstanding. There is nothing in my DNA that blocks me from being abundant. These are just old beliefs. Whatever abundance I might be resisting, I'm just doing it because of the beliefs that I have. It's an abundant universe. This abundance is here for me as much as anyone else. And I'm clearing my doubts about that. Clearing those at a cellular level and all the way back through my past. Allowing myself to be open to greater abundance in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes, go inside, and think again about the abundance that you'd like to experience. And say, it's safe for me to have this. And hopefully that number has come up. And also when we're tapping, it's often like peeling the layers of the onion. So you may have been tapping and you may not feel like the number has shifted a whole lot, but you may have come up with ideas of, oh, I totally remember this thing that happened when I was 10 years old and my parents were saying something awful about people who are rich and, you know, this or whatever it might be. Whatever abundance you might want to experience, the negative comments that you might have heard about that, and you took that on and you have brilliantly been protecting yourself from what doesn't feel safe. So congratulate yourself on that and then knock it off.
I love it. That was awesome. It was awesome. And you're right. In the beginning, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a 10 plus. Then you told me to knock that down a little bit.
And it's brilliant. It's never fault and just recognizing. But if I insist that, then I say, well, I don't need to do any work on that. And then I stay in my comfort zone.
Exactly. It's so true. It's crazy how the mind just wants to stay that comfortable. And I never really realized it. This is truly amazing. I hope you guys, I mean, how are you all feeling? I mean, that's what I want to know. How's our audience feeling? What's coming up for you? Like, how was that awesome, amazing, powerful practice? I would love to hear from all of you guys. Hold on. There we go. Now I could see the chat. Maybe they're still tapping. I'm not sure. Wake up, wake up. Okay. The link says suspicious link. I'm not sure which link, Sharon. Is it Brad's link? Tapwithbrad.com. Just let us know, and that way we can fix any links that might be broken or having a little bit of trouble, because sometimes when we do have a lot of people going to these links as we present them here in these summits, it kind of has too many people on there at once. Both links. Roz says,
Huh.
oh, they're talking about my links. Okay. We'll see why that's happening, because I see why. All right. I know exactly why. We'll put the link back up. But Denise says, I enjoyed those tappings and I received the clearings. Fantastic. Brad is amazing. And it helps. Went from 3 to 6 and more. And I am worthy. I love that. Yes.
Yes, you are.
That came up for me too. I'm worthy.
You are a magnificent child of the universe, worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer, and there is nothing that is too good for you.
I
So
love it. I
tap
love
along
it.
while you say that and clear out any old doubts about about not being true, because it absolutely is true.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is what we're going to be doing in my section at the Omega event in June. We're
Awesome.
going to do plenty of tapping, clearing out those old beliefs about why we couldn't or shouldn't have an awesome life.
I love it. Can you also share your success beyond belief? That's your free gift to our
Oh,
audience today.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, it's a free 5-day program where over a course of 5 days, there's a different tapping video on different subjects about the beliefs about why we couldn't or shouldn't have success. So success. Success beyond belief. It's like, oh wow, it sounds like so much success, but it's also literally, it's the success that's beyond your current beliefs about what you can have.
Yes.
Whatever, the amount of success that you have in any of your life is the amount that you believe is appropriate, what you deserve, what you feel is safe. And as you allow yourself to tap through those misunderstandings and clear the stress, that electric fence around your comfort zone, then you move beyond that and allow yourself to experience something far greater, and that's good for the world. So please and thank you, setting yourself free to share your gifts and talents. And quick question about the tapping. I just tap on the right side because I'm a trained film actor, and this is bad camera technique. You can tap on either side, or you can tap both sides at the same time.
That is awesome. Well, great to have you here, Brad. As always, always enjoy our conversations, and I can't wait to see you at Omega. Guys, if you are wanting to meet Brad at Omega, do come June 20th to the 22nd. We'll put the link in the chat and you can go ahead and reserve your spot. The sooner the better, because it is going to be a fun-filled weekend,
It's
as it
going to be
is
awesome.
the eclipse, right? It's also the summer eclipse, I believe.
Oh.
Summer solstice. So yeah,
Oh, yes.
it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be awesome energy. And we will see you there, Brad.
You absolutely will. And we're also going to see Mr. Brett Bevel.
Exactly.
Who's coming up next?
Who's coming up next?
I yield the floor to my esteemed colleague. Thank you, Dipal. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Brad. Bye-bye. All right. I hope you guys are really enjoying this. We've got one more speaker and I'm really, really excited. Okay, so for those of you who could not seem to get my link to work, let's see if this works, because it should work. I was able to pull it up. So just make sure you go to this specific link to take your healer archetype quiz, and everything should flow. I made sure that, to take it multiple times and make sure that we could get on there and that everybody would be able to hop on. So give it another try. And so we're going to be talking to Brett. Is Brett here? Leanne says, is the Omega only in person? Yes, it is. At this time, we are going to be in person live, but you really want to soak in the energies of Omega. If you're going to be attending, you want to go live. It's such a beautiful place, and Brett is going to actually be sharing more about Omega. So we're going to bring him on. Floor, is Brett in the house?
I'm here. How you doing?
Oh, good. Hey, hold on. I need to pin you.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta find you, Brian. Oh, there you go. Don't move. There we go. Hello, hello. So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, and also lovely to catch Brad's presentation. I'm looking forward to seeing him, and as well as all of the rest of the amazing presenters at Omega that weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend and a powerful weekend. And I think there was a question in the chat or something about, do you have to come in person? And yes, you do. I know the online world is big these days, but there's also a lot of beauty when there's things that are in person. And one of the things that I love about Omega Institute, having worked there for, I hate to say this, literally more than a quarter of a century now,
Oh, wow.
that if people think about the human transformation movement, right? Many of the big teachers in that field actually got their start teaching at Omega. People like Deepak Chopra, amazing healers who changed literally the landscape of our consciousness over the past, several decades. Many of them got their start teaching at Omega. And so, at Omega, we often notice that when people teach in person at Omega, we will often hear from the faculty that that they find that the students who came to their workshop at Omega seem to go to a deeper place than when they're teaching at a hotel or teaching at some other retreat center. And we really believe it's because the land, literally the land, the trees, the stones, the building are holding that kind of metaphysical, that field energy, that collective field that's happening over literally, decades of people like Ram Dass and Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson and all the other amazing people who've been there. We have literally 300 workshops a year, and we've been doing this for almost 50 years. So think of that, and think of that, all that energy literally in the land, in the buildings, and it allows people to just drop in at a much deeper space. There's also another kind of aspect to the Omega secret sauce. I like to use that term. Everybody who's at Omega in terms of the seasonal staff. So Omega is a seasonal operation. We open from late May until late October. And when we're up and running, we actually have about 100 to 150 people who are living on site. Those are the people who are cleaning the classroom, serving your meals, making that latte for you in the cafe, etc. They are also involved in what's called the seasonal staff program, where they're all doing their deep inner work, right? So the person who's, cleaning your room before you arrive may be a master yoga teacher. The person who's serving your latte in the cafe may be somebody who's deeply immersed in shamanism or a Reiki master, whatever. So there's this energy that is kind of permeating every contact point that you have when you're at Omega, right? And so again, we really believe that contributes to this sense of people just going to a much deeper place than they would if it's a workshop that's held at a hotel or some other retreat center. And we get these comments, all the time from our faculty that people just are going to a deeper place when the workshop's at Omega. So that's, one thing I just wanted to put out there. Another thing, I don't always tell people this, but one thing that has kind of been my secret project over the years is all of the trees at Omega are actually literally attuned to Reiki, right? We don't put that on our brochures. There's some people in the Omega administration probably who wouldn't even understand if me explaining that. But
Right.
all the trees, literally all these amazing trees that are on our 200 acres of land are literally all attuned to Reiki. And there was a whole article I did that was in the Reiki News last year where I took photographs of the trees. I would have the trees send energy through the photograph as people read it. So again, the container that we create at Omega is literally so amazing that when you have the wonderful presenters who are going to be there that weekend come in and share their work, it's literally taking you to a deeper level than where you may go if you were to learn that elsewhere. So again, I just really encourage you, if anybody who's having doubts or thoughts, move through that and come to Omega. We would love to see you there.
And you will be there that weekend, yes?
I will be there. I'm not one of the faculty, but I will be in and around. Again, we always have a lot of workshops going on, so I will be popping in and out. You'll probably see me pop in the classroom. I might, if I have time on my agenda, even stay for a couple sessions. Again, a really amazing lineup. I've done work with Dr. T, who I know was on there earlier, his amazing energy healing work, your amazing energy healing work. Also, Ji Hong, who was on earlier. She is one of the regular, what we call core faculty at Omega in terms of teaching our meditation classes. She does sometimes teach workshops, but she's often one of our meditation teachers and has done many amazing classes for the staff, one of which is she always is like our ceremonial leader. She always leads our full moon ceremonies, our despacho ceremonies that are for like the solstice, right? Which is going to be happening that weekend.
Exactly.
So when we were weaving this together, I'm like, oh, it's the solstice. Ji Hong's going to be there. Let's bring her magic into this situation so that she can kind of blow open those channels with an amazing Peruvian despacho ceremony to kind of open everybody up before you even get to, you know, Brad and Ken and Dr. T and yourself, just to kind of open those channels up. So again, I'm just so excited about this weekend and looking forward to it happening here at Omega.
I am too. I am very excited. I know our speakers are very excited. They've talked about Omega. Now, out of curiosity, like when you know, what was Omega before like this vision behind gathering these powerful teachers started happening? Was it always a teaching institute or was it something else before?
Yeah, so I'll answer that in two ways. There's the land where Omega is, right? Because it used to be something before Omega. And then there's Omega, which was something before it arrived at that physical location. So first I'll start with Omega. So Omega, the idea of Omega came from the Sufi mystic Pir Vilayat Anayat Khan, who was a Sufi mystic who had his own kind of community called the Abode of the Message, which is also in upstate New York, a little bit further up. And as part of their work, they would create different holistic businesses, right? They had all these different holistic businesses. And at one point, he asked a couple, Stefan Rechtschaffen and Elizabeth Lesser, who became the co-founders of Omega, he said, I have this idea of something that would be similar, almost like the libraries of ancient Alexandria, where human wisdom can kind of coalesce and merge and be held in a single space. And he said, I want the two of you to please found this and create it as another of our businesses. So Elizabeth and Stefan did that. And when they did that, originally what they did for the first couple of years, they would just rent space. They rented spaces, I think, at a university in Vermont. It wasn't Vermont University. Maybe it was Bennington College or some other place. And so they would start their workshops there. They didn't have their own location, but they began to realize that, and again, this kind of leads back to what I'm saying, that when they had workshops at a place like Bennington College, that was fine, but the institution of Bennington College wasn't necessarily fully aligned with the energy of what the presenters were presenting. Even in terms of the food, they would notice like, wow, this college doesn't really know how to serve holistic, highly nutritious food the way we would like to. So little things like that they would notice along the way. So they began to look for their own location. And around the same time, Stefan Rechtschaffen visited a place that was previously called Camp Boybrick, which is now Omega. So Camp Boybrick was basically a Yiddish summer camp that had been in existence since the early 1920s. I think it went out of business in the early 1970s. And so it was basically just a summer camp that was vacant. Nobody was using it, right? So Stefan took a look at that with some other people at Omega, and they're like, we want to buy it. So they bought it, and then it became Omega. That I believe was in 1978 or 79. And so we've had our own physical location literally since that time. And that's also one of the reasons that we are a seasonal business, because all the infrastructure is summer camp infrastructure, which means that, in the dead of winter, the water pipes and everything would be freezing. So that's why we're just a 6 month out of the year business in terms of our operations. But yeah, that's a little bit of story of how we came into being and how we're also at our current location.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think there was a question in the chat that if you're overseas, what's the best way? I guess, Dipal, I understand being at Omega is best, but how can we be part of Omega if we live overseas?
fly into JFK and take a train up. There's a train that goes to Rhinecliff. If you arrive at the Rhinecliff station, Omega usually has shuttles that goes to the Rhinecliff Amtrak station. We do have many people who come from overseas, and a lot of times we have people who are coming in from Japan, from Europe. So it's not abnormal for people to be willing to come that far to experience the magic that happens at Omega. That's not new to us at all.
Yeah. Now I know you have a beautiful process for us. If you can please describe the guardian angel healing process and take us through it, we would be honored.
Yeah. So about a year and a half ago, actually happened shortly after I started doing some work with Dr. T, again, who you all experienced earlier. And a few months after that workshop that I took with him, I was at another workshop at Omega, and there was a presenter there named Jerry Gavin who was talking about guardian angels. And I loved his description of the guardian angel being that the guardian angel is that divine presence that has been with you for the timeline of your soul, and that actually co-created your soul with the divine, right? So to me, that gave a different lens of a guardian angel. Before I had heard that interpretation, I always thought, oh, guardian angel is just kind of like a low-hanging fruit in the angelic realm that's just kind of hanging out with me. That's what I had thought before, but this really blew my mind in terms of his explanation of it. The weird thing is, immediately after that, there was a group energy healing from an amazing woman named Avalon, who's also one of the teachers in my Magical Awakening energy healing system. And during the healing that she was giving, I was sitting in the audience, and I just heard Jerry Gavin, and I was receiving this healing, and I got a direct download from the angelic realm of like, oh, there's this thing called the angelic doorway that you can create in your field, and that can bring through any angel, even the guardian angels of other people, so that you can do healing work on them. So what I would like to do, and again, this isn't a class in terms of me teaching this process, but it is an experience where I can bring through each person's guardian angel to all of you, whether you're watching this in present time or you're going to watch the recording in the future. And I just ask you to sit with that energy, and I'm going to describe what it's doing. It'll be doing some healing work on you, bringing in that sense of divine love for you, and also helping to bring you guidance about, what you might get from coming to Omega and having the experience this summer solstice with the amazing presenters who are part of this workshop.
Beautiful. We're ready.
So lovely. So I'm just going to invite everyone to just get comfortable in whatever way works for you. And I'm going to invite, and again, this on a multidimensional level. So each of your guardian angels is going to come through the angelic gateway in my energy field, and inviting your guardian angel to come to you now and just simply begin reflecting back to your own holiness, your own pure, divine, precious nature. And we're just going to start with that as the baseline of the healing. Also inviting your guardian angel to create any angelic structures in your crown chakra, as well as in the area of your heart chakra, just to open you deeper to any angelic wisdom that wants to come through during this healing. And also just to kind of clear the space so that you're more open to this possibility. Also inviting in any family angels that are part of your family system, and inviting them to help clear out any ancestral lines, anything that may be blocking you or hindering abundance for you, as well as anything that may be hindering the openness to receive the possibility of the magic that awaits you at this experience at Omega. And inviting your guardian angel also to work with the angel of your brain and nervous system, just to help relax your brain and nervous system right now. And also inviting your guardian angel to work with the angel of your muscular system to help relax your muscular system. And I'm also I wasn't planning to do this, but I'm also going to invite in the angel of divine structure, just to kind of help create a beautiful divine structure around your field, just to open you deep into the healing and deep into the wisdom that may come through. And from here, I'm also inviting the Archangel Raziel to come in and bring into you something I call a divine scroll, which is almost like an energetic GPS. So it's designed to help help take you on your journey that's most in alignment with your soul's path. So just asking Raziel to download that divine scroll into your field. And from here, let's just ask your guardian angel to reflect back to you your own holiness, your own pure, divine, precious nature, and also to reflect back to you any wisdom that it has about you going to this weekend at Omega. Letting your guardian angel reflect back to you any potential opportunities that might open for you in your life. And letting your guardian angel also reflect back to you any beautiful connections that you might make with others during that weekend, because it's not just the amazing teachings and the teachers, but it's also the community that is created when you're all there sharing this work together. And just inviting your guardian angel again to continue reflecting back to your own holiness, your own pure, divine, precious nature, and also to just reflect back to you anything that it wishes to inform you about that weekend. Anything that it wishes to show you in terms of the wisdom and abundance that you might gain from attending that weekend. And also inviting your guardian angel to just work to release any programming in your consciousness that might be inhibiting an authentic sense of openness to receiving the benefits of this weekend. I'm also going to invite in the Archangel Raphael just to kind of add some additional healing to this process, extending even above and beyond this weekend. So maybe even if you're having some physical issues, just asking the beautiful angel Raphael just to bring Raphael's healing presence into this process. And from here, again, going back to your guardian angel, again, your guardian angel reflecting back to you your own holiness, your own pure, divine, precious nature, and also reflecting back to you the potentials that await you this weekend at Omega. And just letting you and your guardian angel have that conversation. So even if you have a question that you might want to ask your guardian angel, I'm inviting your guardian angel to reflect that wisdom back to you now. So you can literally, ask your guardian angel a question about this weekend and just asking your guardian angel to reflect back to you that answer so that it is clear, crystal clear in your consciousness what that answer is from your guardian angel. And also asking your guardian angel to create angelic structures in your feet just to help ground this process, to ground it into your body, ground it into the earth that's beneath you. And also inviting your guardian angel now to share any last message or messages that it may have with you in this moment, whether that's around the weekend or, questions you might have of, how will I pay for it? How will I get there? Just, again, just inviting your guardian angel to share any wisdom that it has for you on this question around attending the weekend at Omega. And from here, I'm going to invite your guardian angel now to just kind of offer you a little blessing just for you in this moment and also into your day. And inviting your guardian angel now to We're going to give thanks to your guardian angel and also invite it to go back into the angelic realm. So again, when it's coming through the angelic gateway in my field, it's coming a little bit closer to your vibration. So now it's still with you. It's just going back now into that angelic realm. So don't feel like your guardian angel has abandoned you or has vanished. It's simply just going back up into a little higher vibration, but it's always with you. It's always present with you. And I just thought now just to bring us all back into our bodies. So just allow yourself to be aware of the chair or the bed or the floor supporting you. Allow yourself to be aware of the feeling of the clothing or the blanket against your skin. Let yourself notice any sounds happening inside the room or outside the room where you are. And very gently and very easily, just allow your consciousness to sink back into your body, back into the room, back into this time and space. And I intentionally left a little time here at the end if there's any questions you may have, whether it's for me or Dipal, just around either this process or the weekend, anything I can do to help inform you about Omega in general or the Omega experience. Just have a little extra time here for that. So just opening it up to people.
Thank you so much, Brett, for that. That was very, very calming and really heart-centered as we connected to so many angels and archangels. And it was just wonderful in creating that space where we are completely invited and supported at Omega. So thank you. That was just beautiful.
You're very well. And I do just want to mention quickly, I do believe, you just went into the chat, that there is a guardian angel, which is my gift, which is like a recording of a very similar healing. So yeah.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions, we're here to share with you anything that you need to know about Omega or anything that we are going to be doing at Omega. I know we have a panel discussion there as well one night, which is going to be a lot of fun. You get to ask all the speakers whatever questions you want. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Okay. So just to end our beautiful Live Your Ultimate Life Summit, how do you all feel about what has transpired from this summit, what you have learned? I really do want to say thank you to all of our speakers, number one, because each one of them brought such beautiful energy, and it was just an incredible experience to be here, to be in their presence, to be in their energy. And as we wrap this summit up, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the deep wisdom, transformative tools, and the powerful healings that were shared today. So we've truly been guided to reach our highest potential in such a new light that I hope each and every one of you will be able to take some of these tools and apply them in your life moving forward. I know Dr. Anthony, he reminded us of the true transformation that begins when we surrender and use the transformative power of the angels. And then Ken Honda showed us how true wealth comes into forms and how to embrace it in all forms and working with the goddess of abundance. Ji Young Padma, she shared about the beautiful clearing ritual to deepen our senses, creating an abundant and grateful mind in a chaotic world. Brad Yates empowered us to release old patterns and tap into a new version of abundance. And Brett just shared this beautiful energy of the angels at Omega and the gateway to higher consciousness. And of course, I had shared with you how to discover your healer archetypes, that you are more powerful than you realize. And when you align with your healer archetype, anything is possible. Now, the real magic begins as you take what you've learned today and start applying it in your life. Transformation happens not just in the moments of inspiration, but in the actions that we take afterwards. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, to truly integrate the work in a powerful way, we would love to see you all live at Omega Institute this summer, June 20th to the 22nd. This is your chance to step into an immersive, high vibrational space with all of us and experience deep shifts in real time. So thank you all for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for being part of this incredible journey. Keep shining your light. And remember, your ultimate life is not just possible, it's here. Sending you so much love and blessings that we can't wait to see all of you soon. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.
All right. And all the links, all the gift links are here. And for those of you who are on YouTube, all the gift links I have put there. So please grab the gift links. You'll also get it in the replay email, which I will have up in a couple of hours because Zoom's going to take a little bit to put all those up. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here. Lots of love and light. And we will see you all soon. Bye-bye, everybody.